Welcome to the Burgundy and Gold Knuckleheads podcast. As always, you know who's sitting right over there. It's my main man, Reggie. What's going on today, Reg?
Ken, what's happening, man? What's going on today?
Well, we're kind of in between football season here. Getting ready. OTAs are over, and training camp is not that far down the road. The heat of the summer getting ready to start up. So. As always, for you and I and fellow Commanders fans, it's Commander season 24/7, 365.
It is 24/7, but the thing about it is we get a little bit of a lull in the off season, and so we're always looking for things to do, things to talk about. The smallest of things can become big news when it comes to the NFL season. I mean,
Sure.
we get excited about something as simple as the draft. Now, the NFL has done a great job of maximizing that whole draft thing. But if you really think about it, they're just selecting players, and yet we get real excited about it. But as always, we always like to continue to bring content to our listeners, even during the off season. And today we got a special guest that we're bringing on. If you're anywhere close to Twitter, if you're just casually strolling through Twitter, you're going to come across this guy. Everybody knows him as Surge the Shooter. We like to call him a friend, but you know him on Twitter as Surge the Shooter. Surge, welcome, man.
What's happening? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, we like to bring Surge on, and again, if you're anywhere near Twitter, you will see him posting. My man, he gets on, he's posting, he's very active on Twitter, and talks a little noise, which is why we like him. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
And so we like to do a little bit of that too. And we became associates of Surge, man. We was interacting with him on Twitter, and I found out he was a Celtics fan, right? Yeah. And so we started conversing a little bit from then and there, and we found out that exactly what he does, because he would put some pictures on Twitter, and I'm like, man, them pictures. I was kind of liking his pictures, retweeting, posting on them and everything because they was fire. And so it turns out that my guy is a photographer for our teams. Serge, tell us about that, man.
So yeah, I was just trying to find a way to get in the game. Done playing football, trying to figure a way back into the game. I reached out to Lake Lewis, Lake Lewis.
Yeah.
Reporter, analyst, whatever. And he was like, I need a photographer. I said, I could take a couple pictures. So 2015, 2016, I did my first game against the Jets. And from there, we just took off. And I think this year past is when I really figured out how to do what I was doing. Like,
okay,
it all registered last year. Okay. The other years, I was just winging it, acting like I was the man.
So for you, are you saying it was kind of a learning in progress role for you?
So a lot of the times I'll get caught up watching the games, and not knowing exactly what I'm taking a picture of.
Right.
Instead of taking a picture of the play, I get caught watching the play. It was just a learning experience. So last year, I just focused on taking pictures and watching the replays on the Jumbotron.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, that's awesome, man. And so obviously posting your pictures, and for fans like us, as we told you earlier, that we're in Dallas. And so being in Dallas, we don't get to do a lot of the OTAs and training camp and weekly at the games and all those kinds of things. So anytime we get people that are close to the team, we love it, right?
Right.
So just being able to communicate with you and knowing that the role that you had, taking pictures and things like that, was awesome. And so we're like, how can we get this guy on a podcast and everything? And of course, obviously, having gone to week one, and we're trying to let the listeners know, we actually went to the home opener last year, and we ran into him. We ran into nephew over here.
Yeah.
I forgot all about this picture.
Yeah, man.
I got the Emmanuel Forbes legs.
Well, look at mine, man.
Is that an insult on him, or is that a credit for you? I mean,
credit for both of us. We elite.
Well, if you
group.
see it, mine are pretty Manuel Forbes like as well, man. But in this picture, if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see the picture of us taking a picture with Serge, man. And it was a great chance to meet him and shake hands with him and all that stuff. We tried to find you during the game, but as most fans know, the Wi-Fi in that facility is not that good.
No, sir.
Right.
It is not that good. So we weren't able to communicate with him during the game and everything, but it was a great chance to meet him. But so we also know that you're a fan of the squad.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How long you been a fan? How'd you become a fan?
Grew up a fan. My whole family, Redskins fan, so I didn't have a choice.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
What part? So you from the area, the DC area?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have a sports team, so
Right.
they're like the only thing that we can latch on to.
Okay.
And the Wizards and Capitals, but nah, I'm good. Just a Redskin fan.
Yeah.
My grandma wouldn't watch the games. My mom wouldn't watch the game. They felt like when they watched that the team would lose. So they used to scream at Patrick Ramsey to throw the ball. I just grew up a Redskin fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, if you're a Redskins fan over the last 20 years, there's a lot of yelling at the TV. I don't care if you're watching it or not watching it. Yeah, there's a lot of yelling going on.
Patrick Ramsey was like the last quarterback I seen them constantly watch. After that, it was just in spurts. I think he ruined it for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, as we talk here, I'm going to put up a few pictures that Serge has taken. There's a couple pictures here that kind of stood out to me. And it's funny because, one of my questions was that you already answered was, do you ever get caught up in the game? And clearly you said you have. It's just human nature, I guess. And I guess as you get more and more experience, you learn to turn that off and get focused on the pitcher. The picture here was from last year. Forbes trying to make a tackle during the Buffalo game, and as I see some of these pictures as we go through them, it's little subtleties that I see. I mean, it's a great picture when you look at it initially. Forbes is reaching halfway dive and got his hands wrapped around him, but you look down and there's a mouthpiece, somebody's mouthpiece that kind of fell out.
Great. This is my first time actually noticing that.
What's that?
That's my first time noticing that.
And it's the little subtle thing that instant moment of time that ends up getting captured in a picture that doesn't get captured in the video. You don't notice it in the video. And then, where's the other one? I got a couple of them, but the one with Gibson here. I mean, he's stiff in arm and trying to go around the corner for some more yards, and feet are off the ground. Two guys should have 4 feet on the ground, but only 1 foot as he's driving. And I mean, that's a great instant moment picture.
Appreciate it.
Now look at this picture. Now Gibson's coming right at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And clearly you guys got some super lens on those cameras and everything like that. But I'm assuming the action gets pretty close to you guys quite a bit, right?
So with the action coming to the sideline, I realized that most of the time I have my lens zoomed in. So when I think they coming to me, they actually like 20 yards away. So 3-4 years ago, I would have put the camera down and tried to run away. I still have clips of Saquon Barkley running to the sideline and almost running into me because I still have my camera up. So
right.
It's just over time you realize that just be aware of your surroundings. I think Lake told me if you get ran over, this will be your last time out here. Don't let them people see you get ran over.
Well, I would imagine that if you're out there long enough, everybody gets run over at least once, right?
Yeah, but don't be that guy. I'm gonna put it like this: if I get ran over, me being at my size, I'll probably be getting carted off. I can't take no more hits.
You'll get a few extra moments of TV time, maybe, if that happens, right?
Raise your thumbs up.
Yeah. Just as long as you do that, man, we'll be watching. Just give us a thumbs up. because I'm gonna
Thankfully,
certainly.
thankfully, this play was like 30 yards away though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So clearly the you're at the games, catching the games. I mean, I've got another picture here. I guess you took either during the rookie mini camp or OTAs with rookie Daniels at quarterback here. What are you going into for to take pictures of? The OTA, the training camp, the games? I mean, where are you always there? How much time are you spending with the Commanders?
So with me being in Richmond, I hate driving,
Yeah.
so I only go up there like once a week. Rookie camp, I went for 2 practices. OTAs, I've been to every practice because media was only out there for 1 day a week anyway. So that was
Okay.
good for me. So I didn't go last week because they didn't have one, but I'll be there Wednesday. So yeah, usually I'm up there for once a week. And during training camp, I try to get there twice a week.
Okay.
But 2 hours on the road, that's not for me.
Yeah. That's a commitment, man. And then especially training camp, it's hot.
I think I seen you in Atlanta
Yes.
last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove to Atlanta.
What?
Couldn't believe I did it, but I did it. Couldn't believe
Well,
it.
that was So we were in Atlanta, and I was gonna put my picture up here, but this ain't about me. So I keep the picture. I have the picture. I show everybody the picture, and I tell them the story and everything. So I appreciate you getting that
Oh,
shot, man.
yeah.
And that shot was easily about almost 50 yards because
It
we were
was.
in the stands, and you guys were probably, I say, about the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
And you did that zoom in on us, man. So yeah, I appreciate.
The service in that stadium was clean. The text
Yeah.
came right through. I looked up and you were right there.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yes, it's
But
sweet.
so, and that was kind of one of my next questions here is that you were on the road. So do you get to pick and choose which games you go to? Do you can go to all the home games if you like? I mean, how does that work out? Being a team photographer, what is that like
So
in
with
terms of that?
me, I'm like secondary media.
Okay.
So when it comes down to it, like last year, I couldn't do the Miami Dolphins game because they had Hard Knocks and things like that. So I had to sit back from that game. Most of the Washington games, they aren't coveted by national media per se, or a lot of people there. So I get in a lot of those. And for away games, the away team handles the credentials. So when Washington submit the names, the away team get to pick how many of the home media members can come over. And usually you get accepted or denied, but for the most part, the away games seem easier to get in than the home games.
Really?
I don't know how, but it is. I think it's because it's a priority type thing.
Mm-hmm.
They want to make sure that the other team gets his covered. But yeah, I've only done 3 away games, and I passed up Dallas my first year.
Okay.
I still haven't went.
Well, if you come out here, man, you got to let us know because this is where we are. So you got.
I'm going this year for sure.
Okay. So that's the last game of the season.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it is.
The second year, last.
The very last game of the season is here.
Yeah, I'm the one there.
Yeah. Come on out here, man. I think you'll enjoy that for sure.
So when you get when your credentials are accepted and you're able to go to an away game, since you're not tied to the Commanders, your flight is all on you. Are you able to travel with the team and the media group?
So I travel alone or either with Lake.
Okay.
So yeah, Lake usually look after me. Yeah, I don't have any ties to the team far as like officially.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm really like freelance.
Sure.
Okay.
Under Sports Journey. And I just do everything with him. We get out, travel, book our rooms. We just do everything together. It's just a 2-man group, me and Lake.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. We had Candy on. Candy.
Candy.
Yeah, we had her on. She mentioned Lake as well. Hopefully, one of these days we can get him on, man. I've communicated with him a little bit through Twitter, and
I'm kind of like his PR guy now, man. You can just let me know.
Okay. Yeah, man. Because I love to have him on here, man. Like I said, we had Candy on not too long ago as well. I think it was
Yeah, I
right after
like
the draft, I
Candy.
think. And,
Candy, one of my peoples.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we like her, man. She said when she comes out here, she's gonna look us up. So we're gonna hold
Yeah,
her to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely come out. Let me see. When is that? January?
Let me see. Ken, you have the
I
schedule
can pull it
pulled
up
up?
as we're talking here.
I should definitely be able to go to that game.
Yeah.
You
Well, even
going?
if you, yeah,
Y'all going?
it's a game time decision for me on there. I've been to a lot of those games out there. We was there last on Thanksgiving. I was out there and we got our butts kicked, man, on Thanksgiving Day. But and that's what I was gonna say. Even if we don't go to the game, hit us up and we can come
Yeah.
out and
Show me the
just kind of
city.
just hang out a little bit. Even the day before the Saturday, I guess, because I think that game is a TBD right now.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is January 5th.
All right, so that's what it is for the day, and that might get flex. You say a Saturday could get flex.
It could get flexed, right?
Yeah, I'll probably be out there for like 3-4 days. I like Texas.
Yeah. But hit us up, man. We'll be in touch and everything. You come out here and we'll link up and all that.
Kick it with the fellas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're there, kind of get back to some of the pictures and getting everything set up. I mean, I noticed, when we were there for week 1 last year, I saw you and kept an eye on you here and there, but you get tied. Obviously, I get caught up in the game.
Mhm.
But it seemed like at the time that you tended to stay down on one end of the field. Do you do that on purpose, or do you find yourself going back and forth, or is it a waste of time, or how do you set up for your pitchers and as you're going along?
It's gonna sound bad. So usually, so usually I like to be at least 20 or 30 yards ahead of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
But last year, with the offense giving the ball up so much, I figured I'd just stay in one location because we can flip sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, on a good day, I'm 20 yards ahead of the ball, but our offense just wasn't moving the ball last year. So
Right.
I figured I'd just stay in the same location, and the other team offense would drive down, and I'll catch the shots.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is, though. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, man. I watched the interview with Sam Howell just the other day, and he talked about all the things that he could have learned.
Man,
But
it was fun though, to say the least.
it was fun.
Well, and you made adjustments based off of for your success based off of what the team was doing. I mean, that's what you have to do. Just like offenses and defenses make adjustments, you're making adjustments for your success as well.
Yeah, it seemed like as soon as I go to another spot that the ball will get turned over, or it'll be a quick 3 and out. So I figured I'd just stay in one spot, save some travel time on my legs.
Right. Well,
the man your Forbes legs, right?
Yeah.
And with that, I showed a couple of pictures. I got another picture here that you took of B-Rob. Looks like he's running in the rain and the elements there. And to catch those moments, like I said, where it's just that fraction of time that you end up catching. How many pictures are you taking? I know you're taking a lot of burst pictures. How many pictures are you taking in a typical game?
In a game, I'm taking around 3,000 and 4,000 pictures.
Wow.
And
yeah, I figured it was a pretty high number.
It is, and only like 60 are good.
Right.
Wow. So you have to go through all of them, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
That picture that we just showed, that was the one when Brian Robinson caught the screen pass. He actually trucked the Falcon and went to the end zone.
Yeah.
The referee stepped right in front of me as he was trucking the guy. So I missed that whole shot.
Yeah.
This came out good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rain games are always fun after the fact.
After the fact, yeah. makes
it rained that
not
day.
Fun taking them.
Yeah, it looked good, but in the moment, you got bags over the cameras.
Yeah.
You can't see through the lens. It's fogging up. You be sick the Monday after. It's a fun experience.
Yeah, that
Well, let
is
me ask you
good.
this. So being on the sidelines and obviously at training camp, practices, and all those types of things, do you get to interact? Do you get access to the players? Do you get to interact with them at all? How does that work out?
So pre-game, if you know a player, they might come over and talk to you. I know a couple guys, they'll talk to me. But post game, when the locker room open, you can pretty much talk to anybody that isn't off limits.
Okay.
So the media tell you when you come in, hey, this guy not talking, this guy not talking, this guy not talking. And then after that, it's just you chat with who you want to chat with. But during the game, 3 hours before kickoff, they just out there walking around. You can chat with whoever you want to chat with.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a free experience.
How you found yourself being able to bond with some of the guys? You don't have to give names or anything, but
Yeah, I got a couple, like, for real, the whole secondary, I can really chat with anybody in the second. Well, the secondary depleted now.
yeah,
Last
that
year, I
changed.
could chat with anybody in the secondary.
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh, Cam Curl, he used to get back to me in like minutes. Jeremy Reeves, my guy.
Yeah.
St. Juice, he'll reach out. Yeah, they were cool.
That's good.
Real cool.
That's good.
That's awesome, man. I mean, as we was talking, man, I mean, most people feel like, they take half the pay or do it for free to be
Mhm.
able to be close to the team and work around the organization and all those kinds of things, man. And for you to be able to do something you like doing, freelancing, and yet doing it for your favorite team, and then on top of that, getting to meet some of the players and stuff, man, it's got to be cool. And I am not trying to minimize and say it's easy what you do, okay? Because I'll let you explain that. But as
Yeah,
from afar, if we watch that, man, it seems like a pretty cool gig to do. But like you said, you got to be out in the weather, the
it
heat,
is.
the rain.
It just, I wouldn't say it's hard because I was actually talking to Candy at OTAs about that. She was like, what we do isn't easy. It may look fun and easy, but it's actually hard. It's
Yeah.
just the long hours and the keeping up with everything mainly. Like, I'm a photographer, but they expect me to keep up with the news and talk about the news also.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the news come in. It could be 9 in the morning. It could be a random 2 o'clock notification. One
Yeah.
could be midnight. You just gotta keep your eyes open
Yeah.
and don't be the guy that sleeping on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
especially
but
and especially in their line of work, right? With Lake and
Yeah,
Candy, right? Their
yeah,
line of work, man, they have to know what's happening right
on
right
the
after it
go,
happens, right?
on the
Yeah.
go.
and there's a difference between doing a job and doing a really good job.
Mhm.
We all have worked at, heck, I don't even care, it's fast food. There's fast food workers that are just there, and then there's fast food workers that are doing a good job. That's every single job, no matter how skilled it or not it is. So I mean, it sounds like, for you, what you're not the same photographer that you were in 2017, right? The growth that you've had is the learning curve, not just as a photographer with, I mean, to your point, tens of thousands of pictures of this time, as
Mhm.
well as, we talked about, setting up, and how to set up for it probably took time if you haven't had experience doing NFL photography or sports
Yeah,
photography. Half of the job to me seems like getting set up right. You
right.
know,
The weather plays a big part. Just a bunch of photographers in the back saying, if a cloud came in, how it look out there. Is the stadium covering half the lighting?
mhm,
It's a bunch of nerdy discussions in the media room before the game days.
right?
Yeah.
So everybody supports each other.
Oh yeah, everybody's cool. Everybody knows each other. If you need something, somebody else may have it. It's a family back there,
That's good.
Nice.
Everybody rooting for each other's success.
of course.
Yeah, competitive, but still want everybody to have
Yeah, I,
success.
I got a couple people. I showed them a picture, and it was like, "Man, you the goat." And I look at one of their pictures. I said, "Nah, you the goat."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's all love.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, we're gonna be coming for the home opener again this year too. So we'll definitely hit you up and
Got
probably try to do some tailgating and stuff like that.
New York,
The home
right?
week two,
New
yeah.
York.
Yeah, New York. Yep.
That should be a good game.
Hopefully you get out there because I think that with the Jayden Daniels thing, man, and you talk about them giving.
Yeah, I should be. I think I'm moving up in the ranks, so I should be one of the priorities now.
Yeah, right on.
That'll be good, man. Good.
I should be out there. The
How
media,
much,
huh?
I was gonna say I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say, with all your when you were talking earlier about your 3,000 or 4,000 pitchers, and then you kind of filter out and you go, okay, I got 4 or 5 dozen that are quality pitchers. How much time on those pitchers do you spend editing, or are you doing the editing yourself?
Yeah, so I've made about 50 presets all around the stadium. So I really have a preset for every type of lighting that I might get at FedEx Field.
Okay.
Whether it's cloudy, sunny, dark, night games in FedEx is trash.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't have a solution for that.
As a photographer, as a photographer, what makes it trash?
So
because as a fan, we're thinking we're under the lights, right?
Yeah, and I also thought the same thing until that Bears game. That was my first night game.
Okay.
The lighting, they was telling me the lighting is bad. And I was telling them, I said, well, I shoot high school football. The lighting always bad. So it can't be that bad out there. And that game against Chicago, every picture looked horrible. I had to do surgery.
Really?
Really, yeah.
So as a photographer, do you guys know what it is about the lighting, or people just know that it's bad?
I don't have an answer for why is it bad. It may be the number of lights, or they just older now.
Yeah.
But either way, I think I got to upgrade my equipment. It might be what it is too.
Yeah, but you said, but everybody says it's bad though. I mean,
it's hard to make the compensation in the settings to equalize the lighting there, huh?
It is. It's bad, man. I don't like it.
You only get one night game this year too.
Which one is that?
The Eagles.
Thursday night, yeah.
Thursday night, yeah.
Or Thursday night, yeah, not Monday night.
I think I'm gonna try to make it happen this year. Last year was tough. I'm gonna make it happen this year.
We were talking about doing some photography on some high school games. Are there other sports? Anything professionally?
I did the Wizards, but since I don't like the placement for NBA.
Okay.
They got us shooting in the stands in like a media section. I thought I was gonna be on the court.
Right.
So I told a friend I only want to do the Boston game, so I did the Boston game. We could shoot on the court pregame. I got some nice shots pregame. I got Derek White when he had hair. And then when the game started, they said, "All right, go to the media section," and they had me far away. I didn't like the angle, so I stopped doing basketball.
Yeah,
but you got to see the game for free, right?
Yeah, it was tough.
Well, offline, man. I'm gonna make my request now. Offline, you got to share some of those Celtics pictures that you got up close.
Oh yeah, I got you. I think I'm gonna do some baseball soon.
Okay.
I just don't want to get hit by a ball. But I got the connect on baseball. I gotta prepare myself to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Well, you say the photography crew is kind of a family, so I'm sure you go in there, man. They'll tell you, shooting baseball is different than football versus basketball, and they'll tell you like, hey, man, hey, stay back here, or in
no
between.
Way you can run.
Yeah, so they'll give you the tips.
My reaction time got slow over the years. I'll be the one to get hit. I'm not fast no more.
I hear you, man.
It's just a small baseball. You only got to move this much. You only got to move a foot.
When it's coming 80 miles an hour,
it's coming faster than that.
I know.
Yeah, that's a slow pitch if it's coming at 80.
80,
Mm,
hundreds.
yeah, coming off that bat, man. That bat, yeah.
Can't do it.
Anyway, well, I got a couple questions, man. Since we talked about earlier, Ken, unless you got something else, I was going to ask him about the team a little bit.
Yeah, no, yeah, circle all the way around. We want to cover
Yeah.
numerous bases here.
Yeah. So you mentioned here about being a fan and growing up as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Hot topic, right? What's Serge's opinion about the team name, Commanders?
Team name.
Now,
So
take us through when you first heard it and where you are now. It may be the same. It may have changed.
when I first heard it, I said it's cool. I never. Let me see. How can I put this? I didn't have a strong tie to the other name because I was born in '96. I only seen one playoff win, and so when they said it's gonna be the Commanders, I said that's cool. It just hurt seeing like a old video, and you think your team has an identity crisis. Like I've never been alive to see a team change their name, and now that my team has a different name, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's regular to me now. I just say Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the same way. A lot of time I just say Washington, and you know,
I wish it could go back, but yeah, that's not happening.
No.
Yeah.
That's not
yeah. So do you think they'll change the name?
I think they will.
You think they're gonna change it?
Name, yeah.
Man, a fourth name.
Yeah, it's gonna look crazy, but at some point you're not gonna know what to call the team.
Man, they're gonna joke us so bad, man. God. I mean, nationally, man.
Identity crisis. We got an identity crisis.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think I would rather them do a change on the brand or expand the brand a little bit, as much as I don't know that I want to go through another rename. You know what I mean? Just if you want to keep it Commanders, but do something different with it. But to go through another name, I'm like, come on, man. Because here's my thing, Serge, and I know I'm supposed to be asking you this question and not myself, but outside of going back to Redskins, which we know it's not going to happen, whatever name they pick, there's going to still be some people going to like it, some people going to hate it, and it's not the Redskins. So it's like no matter what name they pick, people aren't going to be happy about it. So it's like, then why even mess with it at this point? That's kind of where I'm at with it.
And I'm looking at it from a standpoint, a lot of the people on the internet, that's part of the fan base, but it's also a lot of people not on the internet that actually like Commanders that you don't get to see. Because I know the poll came out and they was in favor of switching it or whatever, not liking Commanders, but there's a lot of people that like Commanders out here.
There is.
But it's also a lot of people that love it.
Yeah.
If they win 19 games, we good.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't like the W logo. I'd like them to come up with another logo. Keep Commanders with a.
I wouldn't have the cursive W like the Nats. Or
I saw that on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, I like that. And the feather could play a part. I don't know what's wrong about putting the feather on it. I like that.
You like the feather? Yeah, I was kind of different about it. I like you said, man. They start winning games. Nobody's gonna care, and and I wonder if that's what the organization is doing, to keeping the door open, hoping that they turn this around, start winning, and then no one's gonna care, and then they just move on from it.
Yeah, because when they say this the name for now, I keep on asking myself, why do they say for now instead of the Commanders? So
that's exactly what I said. Why don't they just go ahead and close the door on this thing?
They're stirring the pot, man.
Yeah. Keep the conversation going.
Yeah. But you're right though. Twitter will have you thinking everybody hates the name.
I thought we was past that, but as soon as we get a dead period and no football going on, it jumped right back into number one spot of conversations.
Yep. Well, what did you think of the Dan Quinn hire? Meaning, Were you okay with it? Did you want the Ben Johnson hire? You didn't like Dan, but now you like him. You still don't like him. Where you at on it?
So I got into a lot of Twitter disputes. I was highly against Ben Johnson being the coach.
Okay.
People was calling me crazy, but I never had a specific coach in mind. So when Dan Quinn got hired, it was cool because I believed in no matter who got hired, the players had to make it work regardless.
Right.
You could hire Ben Johnson. His offense in Detroit may not be the same offense you run in Washington. Don't have the same players.
Making too much
Whatever
sense, man.
Dan,
You making too much sense right now.
yeah, and with Dan Quinn, whatever he did in his past regime, it may not be the same thing this time around. So he might turn into one of the best coaches in the NFL with this group. You never know. So just keep an open mind about it.
So
And
why were you not a favorite of the Ben Johnson hire? Just
he seemed odd to me, and now that he doing more interviews and I'm watching him, he is kind of odd. And plus, I didn't like so Jared Goff, one of my favorite quarterbacks.
okay.
So when people said, "Look what he doing with Goff," it rubbed me the wrong way because Goff is no scrub.
Okay.
The offense is loaded. They got an offensive line. They got a top 10 receiver, elite rookie running back. I said that's not the same Ben Johnson we're gonna get in Washington.
Absolutely.
He's not gonna have that supporting cast.
Right.
So I was like, he's not gonna be that guy.
You were there taking shots and going to the training camp and everything with Rivera over the last few years. And I know you're sitting back and you're not really paying as close of attention, and you were only at one of the OTAs, but from an outside, not that it equals wins or losses, but do you see a difference in how when you sit back and watch how the practices are run with Rivera versus Dan Quinn, even from your angle and what you're doing, or not really much difference?
Yeah, so me and Lake talked about this. I think I've been in 2 OTA sessions in previous regimes, and no, the same. Well, 2 OTAs ran by Ron Rivera, and the OTAs seemed like something casual, working out, getting prepared. My first Dan Quinn OTAs, it seemed like they were actually practicing like training camp mode. So they was taking it way more serious than I had ever seen. Everybody moving constantly. It's no rest time. I actually thought I was at training camp instead of OTAs.
Wow.
So they had goals in their OTAs, not just going through the motions type of
They were
thing.
getting to it.
It had a purpose there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was getting to it. 2 7-on-7 sessions on each side of the field. While they doing that, the offensive lineman still working. I think last year the offensive lineman was watching the 7-on-7s. So now they staying busy.
Yeah.
Just they getting real active. It looks serious out there.
Yeah. I like it, man. And obviously winning is what's gonna matter. But like I think most people feel though is that the team has been run like a professional organization, right? And we're seeing real change here. And look, man, I'm excited about it. I'm a big fan of the Dan hire. I didn't know a whole lot about Ben Johnson other than people were saying he was the next best thing. But as you said, I was like, but that don't mean we're going to get the same Ben Johnson in Washington, right? Because we don't have the same talent they got. And he could easily come in here and struggle for 2 or 3 years until we get the players that he wants. But that doesn't mean instant success just because he's having good success in Detroit. But I wasn't in favor for or against him because I didn't know much about him. I was like, okay.
And when we see it in hindsight, and you see the coaching staff that Dan Quinn was able to put around him,
right?
What I don't know that Johnson would have been able to put that kind of coaching staff around him. I don't know they would or wouldn't, but everybody has nothing but good things to say about Dan Quinn and wanting to work with him. So that may have added to a higher quality coaching staff across the board.
I had big questions about this staff that Ben Johnson could put together. I wasn't against the hire. I don't think I was against the hire until I seen how much people wanted him. So I know I had to play the villain. I kind of like playing the villain on Twitter because y'all know those fans actually get heated, mad. So when I see I'm under this skin, I just keep pushing it. I'm like, yeah, Ben Johnson not even that good. Why are you crazy?
Yo, man. It's funny you say that, man, because when I first got on Twitter, and you say something and then people just come at you, I just get back at them, right? Yeah. Now I've learned to the point now I say something and people, oh man, you're just an idiot, and I just, whatever, man.
I pick and choose who I like to keep going back and forth with.
Yeah. That's what I said. If you anywhere near Twitter, you see Surge out there, man, because you be getting after it. That's why I know what's coming this week, boy. People waiting on you. They already got the draft. They already got the tweet in the draft right now.
Man, I had so many tweets in the drafts, seeing what people like and seeing how I could play the villain towards what they like. I gotta stop thriving off negativity.
It's Surge the Troll. Is that what it is?
Might have to switch my name. I done gave my hand away. Because some people actually think I believe in the takes that I make when I'm trolling.
Yeah.
Oh man, let me tell you, and it don't take much, especially Commander's Twitter, bro. It don't take much at all to get people fired up.
No, it don't. I think last year I was like, it's no way Antonio Gibson should be the running back too behind Brian Robinson. They was like, do you know Antonio Gibson have fumbled this amount? I said, that was 2 years ago. He fumbled one time since then. They were like, yeah, but he got a problem. And then like midway through this season, I said, Brian Robinson got more fumbles than Antonio Gibson. It was like, yeah, but he's not a better running back. Start a battle up. I got to stop starting stuff.
Well, you better than me, man, because half the time I'm like, man, I don't have time for these people. I just ignore them. Like,
I don't think half of the people on there know that I'm young. They think I'm much older. So when they do go back and forth, I'm going to be a child. I'm 27. I got a lot of time on my hands. I do nothing at work. I got my phone in my hands all day.
Oh, God.
I'm the wrong guy to go back and forth with.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I see it because I get on there a couple times throughout the day, and a couple times throughout the workday, and I'll check it, at lunch in case my boss listen or whatever. It's usually before work and at lunch, and after work is usually when I check it. Okay, so it's not no business hours.
Clear that up.
My boss just listen. It's just so he tunes in listen sometimes.
Got clarification there.
Yes. So a couple times throughout the day is before work, lunchtime, after work, boss.
Yeah. Put that in there.
Got that cleared up, man. Yeah. But so just one last topic here. We'll talk, man, then we'll let you out of here. As I mentioned at the start of this thing, we started interacting more on Twitter when I started seeing you posting about the Boston Celtics. And so therefore I know that you're a big ball fan and big Celtics fan. So the first question is, how did you become a Celtics fan?
I'm a bandwagon Celtics fan.
Are you?
2007, I was a fan of Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Mainly because somebody told me I looked like him in middle school. Yeah. So I said, all right, that's my favorite player. So when he went to Boston, I became a Boston fan. I kind of just stuck with him.
Okay.
But yeah, bandwagon for sure.
I don't know. I mean, you stuck with him.
Yeah.
I mean, so is it bandwagon if you pick a team and you stay with them?
When you pick that team, they won a championship like that same year, probably.
But you didn't know unless you picked them in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know when you picked them, but
I think they was on like a 20-game win streak or something. I said, yeah, I'm gonna stick with KG on this.
That's what you do in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Elementary school, middle school. you know,
I wasn't
and
really
that's
watching
part of the reason
basketball.
why I think going back to the Commanders, why the younger generation in the DC area they're fans of a lot of other teams, man. You go back 20
More.
years, man, 70, 80, 90% were Redskins fans at the time because coming off of Joe Gibbs and Super Bowls and all the parents and everything else. Now there's a generation like yourself that they haven't seen a lot of winning.
I know a lot of winning.
One playoff win. I'm 27 years old.
Well, don't get off that bandwagon.
Hang in there,
Get
man.
back to the Celtics.
Stay on this one.
Stay on this one.
But
Baltimore was calling my name for a moment.
well, I'm glad you stayed, man. But so just go ahead and give us some quick thoughts, man, on this series. We as we mentioned, live here in the Dallas area. So by default, I'm a big Celtics fan, but I have become a big fan of the Mavericks as well. And I never in a million years thought that the Dallas Mavericks and my favorite team, the Celtics, would meet in the final. I always knew it was a potential, but I thought that was real low, right? And so here we are. But give us your thoughts on the series, man. Good, bad, how you think this is going to turn out, and then end with a prediction.
So if you look at my Twitter, it's like I'm not worried about the Mavericks at all.
Okay.
But when I'm off Twitter, in my head, I'm saying Luka Doncic, he one of the greatest players. He probably top 2, I think.
He's good.
He's scary, but I'm not gonna let the Twitter folks see that. So I'm terrified. But at the same time, my team's so good, I feel like they can get it done in like 5 or 6.
Man, okay.
Too many offensive weapons, too many players that can play defense on the other end. You can let Luka and Kyrie score 30 each. That's 60 points. They still need help from the other guys.
Yeah.
We got 5 players that can go for 25. So that's how I look at it.
Okay.
Too many options.
Well, I'll give you my 2 cents here. So as a local fan that watches the Mavericks quite often, just because we can get all the games here, this Maverick team scares me as well. They scare me because they remind me of the team that gelled at the very end of the season and made that playoff run when they beat Miami. The first year LeBron was in Miami. And that Mavericks team just killed the Lakers. They just went on this run through the playoff with Dirk. Dirk was just playing out of his mind. All of a sudden, after the trade deadline, this Mavericks team has started to gel, and they're playing as a team. They're playing as a good unit, and they're making it happen. So that concerns me. The other side to this thing, though, that makes me a little concerned is Porzingis. He's supposed to be a weapon for us, but he hasn't played since the first round. So my question is he rusty? Does he mess up the chemistry with the rotation? And I know somebody would say, well, man, you got a 20-point player, man, you got to put him in. But there's something about messing up that chemistry. And I wish he had came back in the Eastern Conference Finals and knocked off some of that and get that rotation back then in the finals.
Right.
But to your point, though, I like the fact that we got 4 guys that can score and defend, play on both ends of the court. And the one thing the Mavericks love to do is the pick and roll or the switch and get Luka or Kyrie on the big man. Well, you're going to switch on Tatum. You're going to switch on Brown. You're going to switch on White. You're going to switch on my guy with the dreads. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Drew.
Right.
Yeah.
You got 4 guys. Any of those guys can switch on the Mavericks. And so that gives me a little bit of positive. But at the end of the day, I'm concerned. So I'm going to say Celtics in 6, maybe 7.
I could take I've heard plenty of people say if it go to 7, they don't believe that the Mavericks can win in Boston. But it seemed like all the away teams play better in Boston now. So
yeah.
I'd rather do it in 6.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So I'm going to be lucky and fortunate to go to the game. I'll get to catch a game here when they come here. And everybody's asking me who I'm rooting for because they know, I go to the Mavericks game. And, of course, I'm a big Celtics fan. So
yeah, you win both ways.
I did. But At the end of the
On
day,
paper,
though,
on paper.
On paper.
I'm picking Celtics in 6 or 7. But you see, I got the green on today for you. I did that just for you, man.
It's one of those things also that, you know, I being from DC area, the Nationals weren't there, so I became an Orioles fan, and then I came to Texas and been around here for long enough that I go to a lot of Rangers games, or have over the years, and kind of have gotten to pull for the Rangers. But when the Orioles come in town, I could care less about the Rangers. You know, I'm all on board for the Orioles. So that's how I figured, you know, Reggie was with the Celtics. Is, you know, hey, I'm all on board with Dallas Mavericks until the Celtics come in, and I'm like, all right, I still can't root against my what is truly your team, you know. But yeah,
well,
I
and that's what I said. I want to be
Yeah.
clear. I want y'all to be confusing, because I'm gonna be supporting you, and I got your back on Twitter, Serge. I'm going with the Celtics, man.
It's going to be a tag team for the next couple weeks.
His point, I just started watching baseball like last year, and I'm paying attention to the teams. And to my understanding, the Orioles wasn't good up until like last year.
They had about probably 12 to 15 years where they weren't a good team, and then they ended up rebuilding, and their approach was truly to not spend money in free agency and on signings. They were truly building their farm system, and now they have, you know, one of the top, maybe the top, if not one of the top 2 or 3 farm teams, and that's why they got a young team that's payroll wise is decent right now. So
yes, yeah, I took notice of that because I know that the Nationals won the World Series a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I said I might like the Nationals. Then last year I seen the Orioles winning. I said maybe I like the Orioles.
Well, the thing about baseball, you'll find, man, is the season as long as you know. But man, playoff baseball is different.
Great.
It's good. It's good.
Have you been to Camden Yards, Serge?
Nah, I haven't, but I'm gonna go soon.
Oh man, once you go, if you're leaning towards them, and once you go to Camden Yards, you're gonna be like, man, this is exactly the right atmosphere, and fans and baseball team to become an O's fan, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at games now to see which team I want to see. I'm a fan of different players right now. Like with the Rangers, I'm a fan of Corey Seager. I like Corey Seager.
Yeah,
he's like Bobby Witt in Kansas City. So whoever I want to see, I'll go to that game.
There you go.
The Orioles got plenty of players I want to see. So
there you go, man. There you go. It's a good atmosphere, win or lose down there at Camden Yards.
Yeah, I'm definitely tap in soon. I got another 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I might actually shoot the game. Actually, I could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd be real good. It'd be real nice.
Well, man, listen, we're gonna let you out of here, and I can't thank you enough for coming in and chopping it up with us for a little bit, man, and just giving a little insight to what you do, your role with the team.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been turning them down. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
I'm back now.
Yeah.
I ain't prepared for it getting dark. It got dark outside. The light then went down. So
it's all good, man. It's all part of your vibe. He's just cooling over there, y'all. If you ain't watching on YouTube, he's just cooling right now.
Cooling,
But yeah, thanks for coming through, man. Stick around for a few minutes after this. But Ken, you got anything else?
Nah, I just greatly appreciate it, and hope we cross paths this year at, you know, potentially the home opener, as well as if you're cruising through here in Dallas, we'll definitely hook up and meet up, man.
Yeah, I've definitely been to tailgate, and I'm definitely coming out to Dallas.
Perfect. Right, cool. We'll make it happen, man. Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to us. And as always, like, subscribe, and share our podcast, man. And until next time, peace out.
And before one last thing here, if you're not following Serge on Twitter, he's at Serge the Shooter on Twitter. Again, that's Serge the Shooter, all one word, on Twitter. Hook up with him on Twitter, and, you know, give him some grief, because you know he'll give it back to you. Till next time, Knuckleheads. Peace out.
Peace out, y'all.